Hello, everyone. We want to take this opportunity to say thank you. As you grow at the Golden Boot, so do our needs, but we cannot do it without you. We ask that you continue to like our posts, share our content, and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, and other social media platforms. You may also visit thegoldenboot.com for the latest merch. If you would like to make a financial donation, you can do so through Cash App at @GoldenBoot or through PayPal at paypal.me/GoldenBoot. We look forward to bringing you more laughs, knowledge, and entertainment. And again, thank you for your endless support. Sincerely and respectfully, the Golden Boot team.
The views and opinions expressed in the Golden Boot podcast are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Golden Boot podcast as a whole.
Y'all ready to get rolling? Quiet on the set. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Golden Boot. It's your boy Pooh Bear. I got my man Aunt Petty Murphy in the building. Wonderful, beautiful Sunday, week before Super Bowl. Typically this is what we would call Pro Bowl Sunday.
It was still Pro Bowl Sunday.
It was stupid. That's what it was.
We'll talk about it. How about that?
Yeah. But anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat. As we always say, we truly appreciate your support. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Share it to your friends. Share it to your baby mama. Share it to your baby daddy. Share it to your grandmama.
Share it to all them Facebook groups y'all and talking about, are y'all sharing the same man and woman and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. Share it wherever you talking about sports.
If you ain't talking about sports, share it there too.
Share it there. Because we got something special for you. Help us hit 100. I'm not 100. Hey, help us hit 100K too, but help us hit 1K and you can win $100. If you've already subscribed, help somebody else subscribe. The more people you enter, the more chances you get to win. You know what I'm saying? Let us know. Hey, I refer such and such and such and such. We'll enter your name that many times and you can win too. So go ahead, drop those subscribes, and you can win that money. We trying to get some places.
Hey, $100 ain't gonna go far, but it's $100 you ain't have.
Yeah, it is. So I'm gonna say it like I'm gonna start off like this. It was $10, but when inflation is 900, so you can do the same thing you would have did with them $10.
Touche.
All right. It is Black History Month. Like we say all the time, it's our history, but it's not just our history, it's everybody's history. It didn't start with slavery, won't end with Obama. But this one was special. I didn't even realize it when I did it. Happy birthday, Hank Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
Number 44 for the Atlanta Braves.
Mr. 755.
Mr. 755. From the 251, shout out to Hank Aaron. You know, rest in peace. May you rest in power. But Hank Aaron, home run king. I know he doesn't have the record anymore.
I was just about to say, hold on, but if they said, hold on. If they said that Roger Maris had the regular season record or whatever, when Judge was chasing him, don't that mean that Hank Aaron has the all time? If you taking Bonds out the picture for the single season and Sammy and all them, then they out the picture for all time too, right?
You want to have this ain't on the docket, but let's talk about this for a minute with the baseball.
I mean, it wasn't on the docket, but I'm just saying.
But here's my stance on this, because a lot of people do have kind of funny stances about the steroid era, this, that, and other. But if everybody was on it, you still doing them numbers, why not count it?
I don't disagree with you on that part, but my whole stance is, if baseball is not recognizing y'all, then Hank Aaron, they must recognize Hank Aaron as the all-time home run leader, right? I mean,
yeah.
So,
can
we say Hank Aaron is the recognized all-time home run leader instead of saying,
you know what? I'm glad you said it like that, because I was about to bring up another point. If things were done right in the first place, nobody's gonna kiss Josh Gibson anyway.
That's facts.
So,
okay.
Speaking of, hitting home runs, apparently Jason Brumfield was out there trying to chase the home run record. Softball.
I don't know if he wasn't
softball
doing
turning.
Jason, what you were doing out there, Jason? You were hitting some bombs.
Was he? My question is, was he playing against 13-year-olds? This a little bit off. This ain't in the same. Listen, this might not necessarily be in the same category, but. And it's not in the order that we have it on docket, but let's throw this up here. All
right, file this one under one of the strangest stories I've ever heard of and talked about. Last Friday, we received an email from the mother of a player on the Churchland High School girls JV basketball team that an assistant coach on the team named Arlisha Boykins impersonated a 13-year-old player on the team that was out of town for a club basketball tournament. Here's video from that game. Churchland is in the black uniforms. Number one right there that just came up with the black block shot. We're told that as Arlisha Boykins. They were taking on Nansman River. This video has been edited to show you some of the highlights. Arlisha is apparently a 22-year-old young woman going up against 14 and 15-year-old girls. Now, we have confirmed that Boykins is no longer an employee of Portsmouth Public Schools. And since this game, the student athletes on the team and parents decided to just end the season. They will not be playing any more games this year. Portsmouth Public Schools did launch an investigation into this matter. The details have not been revealed by officials quite yet. Now, I spoke with the father of the 13-year-old girl that was being impersonated. Here's what he had to say about his reaction when he heard the news.
Coaches, always preach to the kids, about integrity and those type of things. So I was just shocked. I just need, an apology, because I haven't yet received one from, the overseer of the program or nothing. He just came out and just told us the stipulations of what was going to happen, but there was no apology issued personally to us, even in his presence.
We're going to follow up with this story if more information comes out. Those parents told me today that they are simply just seeking an apology from Churchland school officials.
Hey, we want to bring in our special guest for tonight, Mr. Sean Fox, sports director at Sports Talk 97.7. Fox, welcome back to the Golden Boot. It's been a while. Glad to see you. How you been?
Bro, man, great to be with y'all. I'm still bald as the picture y'all threw up, so I appreciate it. Just
hold on.
Don't look any different than that picture.
Hey, okay.
Thanks, man. I got a little slow, little
delay. It's long overdue. Yeah, thank y'all for being patient.
Oh, no problem.
No problem, brother.
I see that your life is still being run by teenagers. I know the feeling.
Walking in and out of the house while we're doing this, so it's not going to change as we speak. So
that story,
like I said,
that we just played.
Yeah,
22-year-old assistant coach fills in for a 13-year-old.
Oh, this is hilarious.
And
I mean, it's not funny. It's not funny, obviously, but it's hilarious, bro. Like, she should be fired. The coach who allowed her to do this should be, she should be fired. The coach who allowed her to do this should be fired. I don't blame the team for just giving up the season after this. I feel sorry for the little girls who were forced to play with her because they didn't have a say in this. But it just, man, when I first heard about this story, y'all seen in the movie Thanks to Bad News Bears, when the dude hands the umpire the little I am 12 with the $100 bill. That's the first thing.
Oh
that came
no!
to mind.
I know that's the one with it wasn't God.
It was bench warmers. It was
Bench
bench
warmers,
warmers.
yes.
David Spade. David Spade.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he gives the umpire the I am 12 with the $100.
Hey, what does Herm Edwards say? You play to win the game.
I mean,
listen, all jokes aside on that. Do y'all remember a story? Like this one kind of made me laugh because I really don't approve of it, but it definitely wasn't as serious. Do you remember like 3 or 4 years ago, there was something similar in Houston about this, where a guy, a 28 years old,
was
playing on a high school team.
Yeah. But he was acting like a student or something.
About that. Worst part was he was like dating a 4-year-old girl. So when I heard this story, of course I was like, this is bad. I've heard worse.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It could have been worse. But
that one was real bad.
How do you not catch this, bro? Like, she obviously is not a 14-year-old girl.
This made me think about.
I mean, everybody in the stands who from that school should have known. Yeah, like how does somebody in good conscience associate with that school be like, I didn't see nothing. Did y'all see anything? I mean, that's just low. That's just low.
Exactly.
The only thing I can think to justify that is they played out of town. So they weren't playing necessarily in their normal in their city. It was an out of town tournament or
what? No parents were there.
I mean, I'm sure some parents was that's why they got turned in. But my thing is the kids. You know, I would have been thinking, damn, coach taking my playing time too. You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all see whenever she got fouled? Only one little girl went to shake her hand.
Not only that,
the rest of the little girls was like, man.
Well, then my favorite thing is she blocks the shot. She's out here like she's like my Dikembe Mutombo. That'd be like me playing with the neighborhood kids who are like 10 years old. Exactly. I mean, I do talk smack to them, but we're not playing a serious game. But no, again, as adults, as parents, we're supposed to teach them lessons about life. You know, that's what we play sports for. So we get to the college or professional level. It's about life lessons. And these teachers, or this coach, and I would look, if the school had apologized yet, I'd take it a step further. This school's teaching terrible life lessons, and I can't blame the kids and the parents of the kids being like, you know what, I'm done, and we're not playing this year.
Yep.
Not sad. Just that. Another thing I thought about, and it made me laugh. You're not even good. That was JV. You weren't even good enough to make varsity as a 22-year-old. Somebody. Fox Rose on.
Man, this is straight out of a movie.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
My wife, I'm gonna power through it today.
I got you. But yeah, that was.
I guess because I got 16 people in here using the internet. I don't know.
Yeah, probably works that way.
Jason Brumfield said, happened to me in middle school basketball in the scrimmage. We was up 20 and they inserted a senior varsity basketball player. We lost by 15. Dang.
That's kind of wild right there, bro.
Yeah.
Dang. That's so, you know what? Win. And
that is funny. That actually happened in my high school too.
Jesus.
It was our team was playing the JV championship game. The other team brought in now granted the kid was a junior, but he was a varsity player, and they brought him in to play the JV champship game. And I think
was he a starter?
Yes.
Was he a starter on varsity?
Yes, he was a starter on the varsity team.
Okay, all right. And if he was a bench player, it wouldn't look this bad.
Yeah,
if he was a bench player, I can't give you that one, dog. He's supposed to be playing.
No, he was a starter, and the crazy part about it, everybody knew who he was because they called him Tank because his head was like so big. They called him Tank because his head. So everybody was like, "Why is Tank playing tonight?" And we found out why. They still end up losing.
Came down to the JV team.
Yeah, it came down to the JV. But
isn't that sweeter though? In the end, but in Tank, and you still won.
Yeah. But Fox, man, since the last time you on, we finally got Trey Holly as a Tiger. Great thing. Yes. First of all, I'm very impressed actually because with me not being from Louisiana, I didn't know a lot about him beforehand. And I was telling somebody because we were on was it Carter show? I was on Carter show, Carter Power Hour, and a guy was kind of talking bad about Trey Holly.
Yeah, no,
yeah, it was a guy who was kind of trying to trash Trey Holly.
3A Trey.
That's what he called him, 3A Trey. Said he's too small, this, that, and other. And I was like, the crazy part about it, he broke the state record, you know, and a lot of people say, oh, but his 8th grade yards. If you take out his 8th grade yards, he still breaks the record. So what do you think about?
And you could take out and you could take out his stats. And Ant has heard me say this on my show before, is the amazing thing about Trey is 2020. He only, when they made it to the 15 games, he only played about 7 of them fully. They were killing everybody, so they pulled it at halftime into the 3rd quarter. So he could have crushed it way before that. Listen, I've heard the 3A Trey thing before, and I think that's cute because Trey's best games have been against 4 and 5A competition. I saw him rush for 300 plus yards and 4 touchdowns versus Washita High School. I saw him truck Kendrick Law on his way to an 80-yard touchdown and practically damn near stepped on his chest doing it. There's only been 2 times in 4 years, I guess 5 if we're counting his 8th grade year, that I've not said he's the best player on the field that day. Quincy Wiggins in the state championship game a few years ago was absolutely dominant. And then this past year, this is the 3rd or 4th time that they've played Manny, and every time I thought Trey was better than Tackett. This is the first time where I'd have to go, Tackett was the dude that day.
Yeah.
This is still one of the best players that I've ever covered and seen at the high school level. And I've seen both Mannings. I saw Ruben Randall. I've seen Charles Scott. He's just got that it factor. And I know the knock is 3A competition. I would just say those people, that's an uneducated thing to say. Go look at what he's done against higher class competition. And that's when he's been at his best. He's just that dude.
Yeah.
I thought I'd ask you this. My co-host will be extremely biased if I ask this to him. What's in the water in the 318? Because this seems to be great player after great player after great player. That's
what we do, sir. We breed excellence.
Again, I knew you'd be biased.
Well, yeah, it is, but it's been cyclical because I could say there was a portion until really this Will's class where we were putting out blue chip competition, our blue chip type players. Listen, if you're going to be LSU, there's a couple places that you absolutely have to hit home. You have to be successful. You get Northeast Louisiana. You got to hit Lafayette now. This is kind of a new thing, but you've got to be able to recruit Lafayette. You're Baton Rouge. You got to get your backyard. And, of course, you better have a New Orleans guy. And LSU's got a couple of New Orleans guys on that staff to recruit them. Those, and that's not to knock Shreveport and some other areas, but these are your key recruiting grounds in this state. But I will say there was a time where the 318 was down as far as blue chip competition. Look, they had college level kids, but it was low P5, G5 guys. It's just recently where we're getting those P5 kids again who are playing at the high level, like a Will, like a Lance, like a Trey. But it's coming back anytime soon. But I would say there was probably a 4-year cycle where it wasn't what it was used to, but it is definitely back.
Yeah, I agree with you. There was that stretch right after Rashard. I mean, we had maybe 1 or 2 every year, and we didn't have the 3 or 4. Like
maybe Fedarian Mathis.
You got Fedarian, and then you got Spivey. It's been like 1 or 2 guys, but it hadn't been, the multiple in a class like we've seen this year and last year. We had multiple guys going SEC, multiple guys going to Power 5 schools like we have this year.
Well, and you and I have talked about this before. The thing I found funny was there was this knock. Like there's 2 things that really bother me from being from South Louisiana and living here for 20 years that just, pardon my French, piss me off beyond belief. Is one, that everybody in North Louisiana is a Cowboys fan. I don't know how long how strong the language could be on here, but I'm going to tell you that's absolute bullshit.
Yeah.
The closer you get to Shreveport, then it becomes a little more Cowboys country. But Northeast Louisiana, it's probably 70-30 Saints to Cowboys fans. So that's one stereotype that really bothers me. And then there's the other one that Northeast Louisiana is Alabama country. Again, couldn't be further from the truth. Yes, we've had a Cam Sims and a Slade Bolden and a Cam Robinson. And guess what? And Hootie. And they were all good. And you can't blame them. They all won championships. I would beg you to say, check your backyard. How many players from within 45 minutes of LSU's campus has gone to Alabama? Dare I say it's been a hell of a lot more significant than Northeast Louisiana, but it's been amplified up here. But that thing has always bugged me about, y'all a bunch of no. The interesting thing about here, Pooh, is it's really a melting pot. It's mostly LSU. We got Ole Miss is got a heavy influence up here. Arkansas has a heavy influence. And of course, Alabama's got a hand anywhere they want to have a hand these days. I mean, Alabama has a hand in D.C. I mean, that's just the power of that brand. So those are just we've got to be able to keep our kids in the backyard. And I think for the most part, we've been able to do that a lot more recently than we had in the past. So I'm glad. And just it's always bugged me that people think it's Cowboys in Alabama. It's definitely not it.
Well, you're preaching today, Fox.
So, all right. So I believe you, and you're absolutely correct. Here's the funny part about it. When I was leaving the Alabama game and I was heading back to my car, I saw some Alabama fans walking to their car, and I said, man, I was like, it was a good game. I said, what part of Alabama y'all from? I said, nah, man, we from Monroe. I said, oh, okay.
They got them.
We got some for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's
now let me tell you a story. This is funny. I had in our studio is in West Monroe. It's also got some other businesses. And I had a guy come down the hall the week of the game. I think it was the Thursday before the game. And he's an LSU fan. And he said, well, I'm taking my first LSU game. He's in Alabama. And my first thing was, where did you go wrong as a parent? But it's none of my business. So I saw him on Monday. And, he's like 11 or 12. And I said, so how was his first Tiger Stadium experience? He goes, I think he works for LSU these days. So look, you win. That influences the youth. Like it's easy. It's easy for kids to be caught up in Alabama, probably Georgia here soon. At that age, they kind of flock to stuff like that. So if you want to make them your fans, you got to win games like that. And they did this year.
Yeah. That's true.
They're impressionable at that age.
Unfortunately. That's why you see a lot of Golden State fans, and you know what I mean, and stuff of that nature, because that's who was winning.
Oh, it made me sick about the blender last night. Wanted to vomit.
Yeah. Yep. I'm with you. But it don't matter. They lost.
I could take it. No, they did, but I could take it if you're not from the state. But man, I feel like
the people
must be a Laker fan.
I'm a LeBron fan. I did see. Fan. I saw your tweet, and I was like, I think we're gonna cancel the show tonight. And I was just,
hey, it is what it is.
I can't. Look, I will firmly admit, as a damn near 41-year-old Jordan fan, that we can have the conversation about LeBron being the best. I will. Ant hears me say this all the time. I don't have to like you to respect you. I just call him little bitch. But he is a great player. He is definitely one of the best I've ever seen. And look, my bias is because of what happened with Anthony Davis. That amplified it by 1,000.
I understand, like, especially because I was, why would LA and Pelican, fans, but I get it, the Anthony Davis thing, he completely rubbed the city the wrong way. And I can understand that. Yeah. So let me ask this. I want to go back to Trey Holly. What kind of character? Because I know I've seen it. What kind of character are we getting in Trey Holly?
Well, I haven't personally seen anything bad off the field. Mm-hmm. It is a negative connotation to Trey. I personally having seen it every time I've been around him. And like, granted, I haven't talked to him 1,000 times, but more and more the last year and a half during his recruiting process, I've kind of, for obvious reasons, doing a little digging and going down the field before the game on Friday night while they're getting ready for pregame warm-up. And he's always been incredibly respectful to me. Everybody I know around Union, and I don't live there. I just go there on Fridays, but I've made good connections. They all rave about him. He hasn't been a troublemaker. So, I think he's a good kid. He's one of these. He was incredibly excited. Look, as soon as he got a real committable offer to LSU, it stood with that the entire time. And I think he could not wait to get down there and make an impact. And look, if he could have played, he'd have got down there and played. He told me he wanted to play in the Cheez-It Bowl. I'd have loved to see it. I hope we get to that point in college football where, look, they're exhibition games anyway. If you got a freshman who comes in early, why not? I'd love to see it. I can't say enough things about that. I've been, I don't want to say I've been his PR maybe a bit too much, but I can't say enough about him. I think he's a special player. I was thrilled to death when he committed to LSU. My fear was, oh God, what if Saban or somebody else in here and pulls up? And Saban tried. They came in towards the end of his recruitment and tried to get him. Saban always takes that private jet and that helicopter and hits the 218. And look, he stayed true to it, and I think he was a big part of recruiting these other kids in this signing class, particularly from our area. Now, listen, does that mean that he's going to come in a player? I don't know. He took a lot of carries in high school, a lot. But I will tell you the thing: if he wanted to be a safety at LSU, he'd be a damn good safety, without a doubt. One of the best patient runners, and he kind of reminds me in the screen game of Saints fans will know Pierre Thomas.
My boy.
Just his patience. He sets up his blocks, and I've shared this before. Like he gets on his back or his lineman, and I know I got my hand up, but I'm showing him. Like he'll grab his tackle and he'll put them where he wants them to go. And as soon as he gets them set up, he'll accelerate through that hole before you know what he's going. Like I said, he's not the biggest. He's not the fastest, but I've seen him probably have 30-plus, 60-plus yard touchdown runs in his career that he never got caught from behind. So, he's just a gamer. You don't get all those yards if you're not great.
Right. That's one of the knocks that people throw on him is, he's not that fast.
We've had some running backs in the past who weren't very fast, neither who was successful.
Clyde wasn't that fast.
Clyde, you can even go back.
Joseph
Ale
Broussard wasn't that fast.
Ale Broussard wasn't that fast. You know what I mean? We've had plenty. Darren Williams wasn't that fast.
Touchdown run wasn't exactly a track star.
After the injury,
look, there's track speed and there's game. Give me the games.
Right. Brissett wasn't that fast after the injury, and I saw him break several 50-yard touchdowns. So
yeah. I say this though, back to Trey about like what kind of character.
No, man, that's people. Yeah.
And I just want to say,
go ahead, Ian. I'm sorry.
No, you good, bro. About last year summertime, so about 6 months ago, he did like a little not stop the bullying, stop the violence type day in Farmerville, Union, where he's from. And he had just a little day in the park for all the kids to come out. He got on the microphone and spoke about, how kids don't need to be bullying each other. And he tried to do his part and speak, use his platform that he had in that community, to try to spread some change for the positive. So I know it didn't get a lot of attention across, the state and across LSU Nation, but up around here, it did get a lot of attention, and that's something that I commended him for personally. But you don't see too many kids that age not only recognizing the issue, but be willing to speak out on it and use their platform to do so. So that just speaks to what kind of character and what kind of person he is.
And you could attest to this too. For the last 3 or so, nobody really knows a lot about Union Parish / Farmville.
Mm-hmm.
Outly, he's pretty much been the face and ambassador for that community for the last 3 years, and I think he's done a hell of a job doing it. I mean, he's brought a lot of good publicity to a place that hasn't had a whole lot.
Yeah, a fact. And so much so to your point that he got a key to the city. You know what I mean? For being that face to the city.
You got a Trey Holiday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they Trey. I forgot about Trey. Trey Holiday and key to the city for what he's done to that community just by being himself. And be making that platform and using his platform the way he does. So I mean honestly that's the kind of kid that you want your child to grow up to be like, and that's the kind of person you want your kid to hang around as friends. So he's a fine young man on and off the field.
That's truly amazing.
No, I agree, and I just hope he carries that over to Baton Rouge. I really do. So
agreed.
Proud of him.
Yeah. It's fun. His first picture though, I saw him like officially as a Tiger. He was, with some of the other new recruits, and they were like, saying throwing the peace sign. He was kind of looking like, "What do I do?" But
he's probably like the kid at Willy Wonka. He's not used to all this big city stuff.
Yeah.
I'm excited. What are your expectations for him like next season?
Next year, man, I like Armani Goodwin a lot. Noah Kane, I think you've got some depth there. I mean, Caleb Jackson I haven't seen enough. Like if you ask me to pull between the two, who I think's better, I got a clear bias. I mean, I've seen every single game Trey's played. I haven't seen enough of Caleb, to be honest. But the highlights, he looks fantastic. Glad that he's a Tiger. I think in a perfect world, I mean, you don't want true freshmen to have to play. I think you would love to be able to redshirt him. As excited as I am to see Trey in an LSU uniform, unless there's injuries, I'd expect him to redshirt next year. But I think there's always the opportunity. Look, he is dynamic in special teams. I know LSU's got Aaron Anderson, and I think that is going to be an instant upgrade in the return department at LSU. If you think about this, LSU, for as many position, the cornerback and the running back, we have been terrible in kick or punt return for some time. I mean, we tried to stick a round peg in a square hole. Like, he was great, but like, why do we keep trotting him out there for punt return? Like, nothing's happening, and clearly it's not going to happen. I thought Trey Palmer should have been the primary punt returner.
Yeah.
Long story short, if something doesn't go right with Aaron Anderson, I could expect him making an impact on special teams in the return game. And also, he's a fantastic wide receiver. Like, you could put him anywhere, he's going to make an impact. But truthfully, I think in a perfect world, you'd redshirt him next year, because that means you've got the guys in front of him doing what they need to do, the upper class.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I don't want to redshirt him for only one reason. I want to see Aaron Anderson at punt return. I want to see Trey Holland on kickoff return.
I would be okay with that. Like I said, he's a damn good kick returner. So look, whatever it takes to win, he's going to do it. If you need to put him in the slot, he is an excellent wide receiver. I mean, he is a really good. He's got great hands, and that's where I think his biggest impact is at LSU. Is I do think he will be that third down back, because he can catch so good.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's one of the best screen back. And at the high school level, he's the best screen back I've seen at the high school level.
Yeah. His vision, everything I've seen from him, I think ideally kickoff return, I think he'd be excellent. But let's move on to the Saints a little bit. We try not to talk about that on here because that's very depressing. But This news broke while me and Fox was on air together Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah, so
we gave our thoughts on the Sean Payton trade, but I want to know what you think about it.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, and Aunt knows this. I have a Super Bowl baby daughter. We were very excited when the Saints won that year. I'm always going to be grateful for what he did. You can never take that away. And he helped make what was a terrible, one of the worst professional organization in sports. Even though we only won one Super Bowl, it was one of the most good NFL franchises. And his fingerprints are all over this franchise to this day. It was weird when he had like the interview in the Broncos gear that went online. I was like, wow, this is really happening. But I guess in a way, I am relieved for years that as great as it would have been to Sean Payton to retire Saint, look, in this profession, that's very, very, it's few and far between. I was convinced he was going to coach the Dallas Cowboys. I thought that would be his stop after New Orleans. And the fact that he's not going to Dallas and not I'm relieved. I wish he would have stayed, but that would be a dream scenario. This is real life, is the pros. The fact that the Saints got a first round, they got a second round pick out of it next. I broke it down the other day. I think a lot of people, there were some people who were disappointed that they only got the one, but I think they had in mind, look what the Raiders got for John Gruden going to Tampa Bay. And I went by and I tried to tell people, I was like, look, this is apples and oranges.
Mm-hmm.
John Gruden was coming off the active, was retired. He was not in football. And it looked like he wasn't coming back. To me, the fact that you got something out of nothing, and yeah, and they're like, well, you don't have you can't get your quarterback of the future at 29. No, but you have an asset now that you didn't have before to move to go get your quarterback of the future if you need to, if you want to. But I don't think this team is a quarterback away. Pooh, I think this is we're in purgatory right now. I say that as a good Catholic. Because I don't think it's got some star players. Michael Thomas, who I'm higher on than most. I'm not one who wants to jettison him out of town. I think he's just running into some bad luck. But Kamara as a back is getting older. There is a shelf life in the NFL.
Don't you do it,
Demario
son.
Davis is great. He's getting older. Cam Jordan is great. He's getting older. I'm just saying this team than just a quarterback. But I think they're closer to a top 5 pick than they are a Super Bowl. You play in a horrifically bad division. I mean, it's real bad to the point where I think 6-11 or 7-10 could win it next year. So you are bad. I don't think you're a Super Bowl team, but you can win your division. So it's a weird place to be right now for a Saints fan.
I'm with you on everything but the get rid of Kamara part.
No, I love Kamara. I just would rather him get rid of him a year too early than a year too late.
That's very fair. That's very fair. But I just don't know. I just like
I love
to me. I know you do, and to me, I think it's his decrease in production isn't necessarily on him as a player to me. It's more so on the fact on the way he was used by Pete and the fact that we didn't have that true in between the tackles guy. So in my opinion, you don't get rid of Kamara. You just go get the yes, but it's not just that Pete used him wrong. Part of the reason why Pete used him wrong was because you couldn't rely on Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, and you didn't have anybody else back there beside him. So instead of getting rid of Kamara, go get him somebody that you can put beside him that you can trust and let Kamara be Kamara.
I actually I think that you need. I think quarterback's obviously the number one need. I think running back's number 2. Like
I agree.
I know it's kind of tapped that I'd love to get Tajay Spears from Tulane, but I know it's taboo to get a running back now in the first round. But if Jan Robinson's sitting there I think Gibbs is a mini Kamara. Like, I wouldn't be mad if the Saints drafted one of those guys at 29. I think it's an incredibly important position for this team.
I won't take Bigsby personally, just because I think that's the perfect him or Charbonnet. Charbonnet, the UCLA running back, that's another big, powerful back. But I think quarterback, running back, defensive tackle are the biggest needs on this team.
Fox, I know you said quarterback.
I do agree with defensive tackle. Quarterback away.
No, go ahead.
No, what did you say, Pooh? I'm sorry. You know, my internet's crap. So
yeah, no. I was gonna say, I know you said quarterback away. I think we're head coach away. That's just me personally.
Well, first, I don't think they're quarterback away because I think there's too many holes on the roster. I do agree with you, the coach. I did not expect Dennis Allen to be fired. Look, that's just bad. As much as I don't think he's the guy, it's bad by our coaches year after year, especially when they went 7-10. If they had a tank, it'd be one thing. I do think they need a new head coach. Look, here's how I look. I'm going into this. And I could say this now in February. I know when September gets here, I'm going to be talking out of both sides of my mouth because I'm a fan at the end of the day. Look, they suck, and we go get our quarterback. So it's either we make the playoffs in a bad division this year, which even if it's at 6-11, 7-10, you're still in the dance. Really crap. You fire Dennis Allen, you get your quarterback of the future, and now we can hit the reboot button. So that's how I'm trying to save face and not get too upset of season. It's a no-lose scenario.
So which one of those do you see being more probable next season? Are we going to be without DA after next year?
The division's so bad. Yes. Like,
and to me, it's too.
Now that Tom's gone.
That's I was just about to say, to me, I can't say where we'll be until I see how, because every team in the division could get a quarterback. Every team in the division could use one. So I just, until we see how the offseason plays out with free agency and the draft, I don't know where we are right now.
Is it and I know you say every team in the division. It wild?
I don't.
No, I'm sorry. Is it wild to say that Atlanta has the best quarterback situation right now?
It's not wild. They do have the best quarterback situation.
With
Ritter and
Mariota. Yeah.
I mean, he's – yeah. I can't make a valid –
I mean, technically the Saints have Jameis and Taysom under contract.
This is where this division is right now. Taysom may be the best quarterback in the division. He's not a quarterback. This division is so bad. The person in the division who gets Derek Carr may win the division. Because I think the house going to be after him. I know. That's what I'm saying. Your reaction says it all. I think the person who gets Carr could win it. It's that bad. And I have him at like 14th out of 32 quarterbacks. I don't think he's as bad as some, but I don't think he's a superstar by any means. He's the definition of mid.
I honestly think that the Panthers, I think they draft a quarterback. Honestly, I think they get Will Levis or Stroud, whichever one doesn't go top 2 or 3.
You think Stroud's better than they're going to trade up?
No, I think I could see Chicago going Carter, then Houston and Levis going the next 2 quarterbacks, and Stroud being the 3rd quarterback taken.
I think Chicago trades their pick. That number 1.
I don't believe that though, dog. I mean, I can see it, but I don't. I can see it, but I don't know. It's possible because I mean, everybody know they don't need a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. And they've already said they're sticking with Fields. He showed them enough this season.
Oh, that's a good question. What did they do with Corral?
He got hurt, so I don't know what they. I mean, I don't know if he's there for the future.
Yeah, I don't know if he that long term answer. I mean, because I don't know. No, they got a new coach in who probably gonna want his guy. So I don't know.
Frank.
Yeah, Carson Wentz.
Look, I missed on Carson. Like that guy was on track the year that they won the Super Bowl with Foles. He was going to be the MVP of the league until he got hurt, and he has just not been the same since.
Yeah,
guy who's falling off a cliff. I mean, I feel bad for the guy.
Quick question: have you ever seen Carson Wentz and
yes,
Prince Harry in the same place at the same time? I'm just saying. It's hard. It's hard to be a. It's hard to be a monarch and a quarterback at the same time. I'm just saying.
I don't know if he's good at either one. That's a good one, Pooh. That's a good one.
Well, have you ever seen Sean Fox and the punter for the Dallas Cowboys in the same place at the same time?
I am not Brandon Anger, although I have been accused of being him from time to time. All bald white dudes with shitty beards do not look the same, but maybe we do.
Oh man, hey, you better be careful when you go to your next cheer convention in Dallas, man. They're gonna be asking you for tickets to the games.
That's why I try to avoid that place like a.
Oh man.
Although with the price of cheer, I could probably use the money in the NFL to do.
Oh man.
Fox, last time you were on, you told us the great story about when Coach Eddie Robinson passed. You were at his home and his widow,
yes.
You know what I'm saying, spoke. Do you have any? What's another good story you got for us? Maybe not. Maybe not. It maybe not. Doesn't have to be legendary Eddie Robinson. But what's another good story you got for us?
Any of them?
Any of them.
About Eddie or just any story? Any story I got. Period.
Yeah, any story you got. Period.
I lose.
Uh-oh.
Y'all got in my back?
You're kind of going in and out on us.
Boy, echoing.
Yeah. Uh-oh. We see you, Fox, but it sounds like your audio is going in and out.
We're gonna have to tease that question to the next time we have him on.
Yeah, we may have to tease that one. Yep. See it.
Am I back?
Yeah,
there
he's
you go.
Back.
There you go.
He's back.
I'm gonna get an internet sponsor. I'm gonna get an internet sponsor for the next time I come on. All right.
No, it don't have to be about Eddie.
You
just
want
a story in general. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Story in general. If I lose y'all, I'll come back next time from a different place with better internet. All right. So here's one of my best stories I've ever had for being on the radio. You ready? All right. The year that Ruben Randall was getting recruited at LSU. This is one of my best stories ever. Interview scheduled with Ruben Randall the 2 days before signing day. And Ruben, Ruben forgot he had baseball practice. So I've got so many listeners from across the country. I think his final three was LSU, Oklahoma, and Alabama. And it was incredibly embarrassing that, we had promoted this interview and he didn't come on. But his dad had called in. And boy, that's when the real fun began. He called Les Miles a liar on the show. And he said that, And he said if D'Angelo Benton, who was his teammate at Bastrop, was going to LSU, Ruben was not.
And we thought it was a package deal.
Oh, dear God. If I am responsible, this show responsible for LSU not getting Ruben Randall, there are going to be people with pitchforks outside my studio. Well, friends, I have to tell you, I may have been responsible for LSU getting Ruben Randall after this, because about 30 minutes later, I got a 3-hour show. Our front desk lady comes to the studio, and we're on the air, light on that says, "On the air, don't disturb." Well, she opens the door and she's like white as a ghost. And she's like, "You need to take this phone call." I'm like, "I'm on the air." She's like, No. You need to take this now. I'm like, all right. Well, I have a co-host like, "Look, you got to take it." So I get on the phone, and this is Emily from the LSU football office. I'm like, "Hey, Emily." And she, I can't remember who the wide receiver was at the time. She's, "Hey, can you tell Coach?" God, he came from UCLA. I just remember that. "Can you tell him the story?"
Was it Adam Henry? It wasn't Adam Henry. Was it?
I can't remember.
Okay.
No, maybe, but nonetheless, that part's not important. He's like, "Can you tell me about Ruben?" So I get about halfway through the story, and he goes, "Hold on, Sean. Coach Miles wants to talk to you." I'm like, "Oh, just tell Coach Miles. Sean, Coach Miles, how are you? It's been a while." I'm like, "Coach, how are you?" He goes, "Hey, I was told that Ruben's dad called. What'd he tell you?" I get through, about to finish the story. He goes, "Hey, hold on. We're having a coaches meeting right now. All our coaches are in here. I've got you on speakerphone with all the coaches. Can you tell us what happened?" And I'm like, oh my God, this is snowballed. So I tell them, and Sean, I really appreciate the talk to me. I'm like, "Coach, thanks and good luck." Hey, look, 2 days later, Ruben Randall is at LSU. So maybe I got him there, maybe not, but I give myself credit for it. That was like, I was freaking out. Like, oh my God, if LSU does not get Ruben Randall because of this, like, how can I keep doing a radio show in Louisiana? But man, it all was just one of crazy. Like, I've heard so many, and that was one experience, but I've heard so much Wild West. By the way, that was a dead period when that happened, so I don't know how they managed to work it out, but they did. It really is unbelievable how shady recruiting was back in the day. I mean, I've heard some other stories I can talk about, that people just leaving money behind, like thousands of dollars for recruits they didn't even get, but that was what they were supposed to do to get them. So, that whole recruiting process has always fascinated with me, and that was. I mean, looking back now, it's a great story to tell, but I honestly was scared and nervous. I was like, I can't believe it's happening to me right now on the show, and then having to go back and finish doing another hour and a half of the radio show, trying to not tell everybody what the heck just happened. I just said I had a very interesting call just now.
Yeah. And man, I remember back during that time, everybody thought that it was a package deal with Ruben and D'Angelo. You know what I'm saying? They were gonna go wherever. They were both gonna go together. They both played together. You know, they were friends. Everybody thought they were gonna go together. So I remember hearing that phone call and him saying that. And I had just got out of basketball practice, and I'm texting my man. You hearing what dude saying? Ruben and they're not going to the Didi not going to the something. Like, man, it was crazy. And obviously we see how their careers played out, and Ruben obviously made the right decision. But man, that was a wild time in recruiting around here for sure.
Man, that is.
Well, now, I mean, that part was one thing, but the fact that he called his dad a liar on the air, he called Les a liar on the air, I was like, oh, my God, this is really happening.
Yeah.
But, hey, it blew up. Like, our server crashed 3 times that day from all the people who were listening online. It was wild.
Oh,
That's crazy.
man, that's wild. Man, Fox is always. I always enjoy the stories. I always enjoy the insight. Period. It's always great, and I always enjoy the I say the Twitter trolling, and sometimes I know you're serious.
Yes,
but I can read stuff and I read it in your voice and just
most of the
laugh
time
in
I'm
my
not.
head.
Oh yeah.
Just,
The craziest part is like usually I'm friends with him on Facebook. So he'll post something and he's just being himself. Everybody thinks he's serious. The funniest part is just reading the comments and reading him telling everybody, I'm not serious. I was just really joking. Like that's the funniest part to me because everybody takes everything he says so seriously.
I love
when they should know better.
People start up on there. Yeah, I know. It's a gift.
oh man, Fox is
Appreciate
always
you, brother.
Truly do appreciate.
So I'll leave you with this. Next time I'm on, I'll share the story on how I was on a remote, and I come back and I talked about, and it got caught over there, the lack of sex I haven't in a couple months. That's a story to leave you with.
I think I did. I hear part
Over
of this
the
story
air.
before. Yeah. Definitely looking forward to it. Looking forward to it, ladies and gentlemen. That was our good friend Sean Fox. Y'all can check him out. Sports Talk 97.7. Y'all can. How can I listen online?
You can get the Red Peach Sports
SportsTalk977.com. Hit listen live.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our good friend Sean Fox, sports director of Sports Talk 97.7.
My guy, man. That's my guy.
Fox always great story. Great story.
That's my guy, bro.
Man, I truly
good dude,
appreciate
man.
it.
Good dude. Real good dude.
I listen, I always laugh because before SWAT Media Day, Fox talk, saying, hey, nice to meet you, Pooh. Saying, Ant, good to see you. Hey, word of advice. You get there, everybody's, saying, treat them just like they're human.
Yeah, you deserve to be in that room just like them. You're no different than them.
Everybody puts their pants on one leg at a time.
First person walk in the room.
Me and you walking around. First person walk in, Dion, and me and you like hitting each other. Hey,
all that advice Fox just gave me out the window.
But man, truly do appreciate it. Hey, thank y'all again for tuning in. Love the interaction. This is actually a good point. Silver Charm 2 said being that DA drafted Carr when he was with the Raiders, I have a feeling that the Saints might be the first team he talks with after he is cut.
If he gets cut,
they may try to trade him.
I think they're gonna try to trade him, but he has a no trade clause, so he could say, "I ain't going to the Saints." You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's might be some situations where he likes better.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I do agree with his point that if he gets cut, we could be one of the situations that he looks at because of his familiarity with DA. Although he never played quarterback, started as a quarterback under DA.
Yeah, everybody looking forward to the he said
damn,
he should have told that one about the sex. Everybody's looking
ready for that one.
Ready for that one. Speaking of advice, Shannon Sharp on his podcast was talking with Chad Ochocinco about marriage, and Chad actually flipped on him and said, hey, I got a question for you. Why didn't you ever get married? And this is how that played out.
You married?
No.
Okay.
I'm looking to get married. Hey, I'm about to be 55. I'm about to be double nickel.
Yeah.
Double nickel. So
what you think about it though?
I want to get married.
Wait. Let's pretend these cameras ain't here.
Yeah.
It's me and you, Bob Shop. I've been talking like they ain't here anyway. What your views on marriage? What do you think?
I would have loved to have gotten married earlier in my career, but my career was the most important thing. So I was no good. I was a terrible father. I probably was a terrible brother, a terrible son. I definitely was a terrible boyfriend because football was the most important thing.
Right.
I was consumed with that. And I was consumed with that because I wanted to get my grandmother and my family out of the conditions that I grew up in. And I said, if I had kids, I didn't want them to spend 1 hour, let alone a year like I spent. So I focused on that. That was the only thing that mattered.
Right.
And I had a lot of women say they could be okay with being with number 2 to football. But when it came right down to it and they see how devout I was in it, they couldn't be.
Right.
And I said, okay. But now I started to realize as I've gotten older in my life, everything that I've accumulated doesn't mean anything if I don't have anybody to share it with. And it took me spending time alone to realize that, yes, Shannon, you're great at what you do. You're in the Hall of Fame. You accomplished a lot. But at the end of the day, who do you share it with?
Hey, that was from Uncle Shane and Uncle Shay Shay's podcast. Ant, you are a freshly married man.
That is
when I say fresh, I mean it's been a minute, but it's still fresh.
We ain't hit the year yet, so we still fresh. That's real, bro. That's real. Bro. That's all I can say.
I did see some. I mean, people gonna complain about it anyway. I did see some comments say that that's selfish. He should have got married. Some women can handle it, but he talks about he even tried this dating, and people couldn't handle it.
I disagree. I feel like it would have been selfish for him to get married, knowing that he wasn't able to give his all to the woman that he was about to get married to. I feel like that would have been more selfish than him not getting married.
Yeah. So, what's good? Happy, you know what I'm saying? Happy Earth. Well, we'll be on, but we may be on. I don't know if that is that Super Bowl Sunday? No, not 10 days. That's a week from now.
That's on Wednesday.
Yeah. But Dave Irwin said, I've been married 22 years and 10 days. Well, congratulations.
My God, that's my bro, man. He been real influential in me being where I'm at right now. So I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, and kudos to you and Shantae, brother.
Yeah. So also, man, listen, we got people. DK said, what's good? You know what I'm saying? What's good, DK? I know a lot of y'all have spoken. And again, I apologize. We brought Fox on a little bit early. We started talking about the other story because we had to hear his take on it. But back to this. Marriage and putting your job or your career above everything. I think so. One thing I told my son, he's not married, of course, but he's,
I hope not.
Yeah, get your ass out of here. But anyway, dating at even at his age, high school and stuff, and he has aspirations of going out to college, playing sports in college and stuff like that. We always tell him focus, and one thing I always tell him, you'll lose a lot of money chasing women, but you'll never lose women chasing money. Technically, Shannon Sharp has lost that, but did he necessarily lose a bad thing by doing that?
This the thing though. I don't feel like he lost any women because I'm pretty sure there was plenty of women that he could have had. He just made the choice to not be with a woman or marry a woman until he was able to commit like he needed to commit. And I don't understand. I don't see how anyone can have a problem with that. Like if you know you're not ready, don't get married. Being married ain't no joke. It's serious and it's hard work and it takes a lot of work. And if you're not ready for that, if you're not, especially in that lifestyle, you know what I mean? So if you're not ready for that, you don't need to just do it because that's what other people want you to do.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Chuck.
If you gotta look at it like this. If you got a regular job, and when I say regular job, no disrespect to whatever you guys do, whether you're a teacher, professor, we just had Sean on, radio guy, TV commentator, at home entrepreneur, whatever you do, dope boy. If you have problems now, think about if you're full-time, you're out of town, half your, half the year for the most part, you're training, you have to eat a certain way, you have to do certain things and stuff. Imagine trying to do that and, please your wife with say, baby, what you want to eat tonight?
Yeah, and see, it's another point that Fox and them was talking on their show with a guest one time. like Major League Baseball players have the highest rated divorce among some like any athletes because their season is literally like 9 months long. You know what I mean? Like they play so long that they're gone so much that it takes such a toll on their relationship. So if you have a guy like Shannon who's that devoted to his craft and he knows he's not gonna have the time and the capacity to devote it to his relationship, he made the right decision. And I hope he does find love, and because he who finds a wife finds a good thing and finds favor. But so I mean, I wish that for everybody, but if they want it. But I understand why he did what he did.
Yeah. Angel Reese. Angel Reese and the women's basketball team hung on to beat A&M today. She put on the show. I think last
2020.
Yeah, it was
26 and 22.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up now. Yeah, she was. I mean, here you go. She had 26 points, 22 rebounds. Alexis Morris had 22 points and she had a rebound, assist, 2 steals.
Tell y'all about Alexis, bro.
And then Flage came in. She added 11 points, 6 rebounds, and a steal. So
trying to tell y'all about Alexis, man. Alexis gonna take this team far.
Yeah, this is what 23 in a row. The Tigers are 23-0, huh?
The big thing is Stanford lost today.
So
and Stanford was number 2.
This looks like Super Bowl Sunday could be number 1 versus number 2.
Bingo. That's a heck of an opening card for the Super Bowl, man.
Man, listen. Man. This is if you make it to where you want to make it,
you're gonna have to beat this team.
This is the first of 3 chances you got to beat this team. This might not necessarily be the most important, but this is your audition.
This your litmus test.
This your litmus test. This is where you show, hey, we can hang.
Yep. See what you made of right here.
Yeah. So, but that wasn't the only good thing Angel Reese did. Angel Reese used her NIL deal to give coach bags to all her teammates. Yeah,
a bunch of them.
Yes, I guess she said, "I've been in my bag. I'm gonna make sure y'all be in y'all's." So she.
You didn't hear the speech?
No,
she said that in the speech. She said, it's February, and since we all been in our bags, I thought I'd give y'all a bag. That's exactly what she said.
That's dope. Well, yeah, she has an NIL deal with Coach, so she gifted all her teammates a new Coach bag. I just want to point this out for everybody who talk about NIL and how bad it is and stuff. I've heard several stories about how players are using their NIL deals to give back to their teammates or give to, friends.
Here's a good one right here. For everybody who hating on NIL. Transfer pitcher Thatcher Hurd for LSU
There you
baseball.
go. That's where I was going.
Said that he was going to give all the proceeds of his NIL money to the Baton Rouge Food Bank. So Bud Corn, Michigan, used his NIL money to do turkey drives, back-to-back seasons. So all these people complain about, we're paying for players and you're doing all this. Some of this money is being turned around and being given right back into the communities that these kids go to, go to school in or that they're from. So I don't see how anybody could have an issue, bro.
And this one is a little personal, but the kid at Indiana basketball player, we reported on it before. I can't remember his name. He used his NIL money to pay off his sister's student loan.
Yep.
So, bam, there you go.
Beautiful, man. It's beautiful,
and I love it. We talked a little bit last week about Tommy Rees possibly going to Alabama, interviewing with Alabama. He's officially accepted the job with Alabama. And I said before, that didn't really scare me. This one worries me. Saban unites with Kevin Steele. I'm not so much worried about being able to stop Kevin Steele, but Kevin Steele is really dang on good.
Man, it's Alabama. Their defense is going to be decent anyway.
Yeah, it's going to be decent, but with a Kevin Steele.
But it's Saban's defense. So, I mean, like, It's the same car, just a different person driving it, pretty much, man.
Well, listen,
and I'm not saying that can't make a difference, but it ain't finna completely changed out. You know what I'm saying? Like I get your point. He a different driver in the car.
You say, but he is Jason Statham in the transporter, and he whipping that thing.
He ain't Kirby Smart.
You right. He not Kirby Smart. The lowest points LSU put up in 2019 with the most prolific offense that we have ever seen.
Okay, but that's because that front four that they had. It ain't just because of Kevin Steele calling plays. Like you got that factors in too.
I give you that.
They had the best defensive lineman in the country that year on Auburn's front four.
He also came out with that what Kirby tried to copy it. That 4-1-3, where he had the one linebacker and then the three linebackers behind that.
Yeah, but that ain't. But why Kirby wasn't successful with it? Because he didn't have them front four that Kevin.
And we had also seen about in too.
He didn't have Derek Brown, bro. He didn't have Big Cat. He didn't have Marlon. He didn't have all them boys.
Okay,
that front four matters, bro.
It matters, and
it's also a reason why Kevin Steele has been bouncing around in his career the way he has too. Because he's good, but he isn't elite like some people that we've seen at Alabama, like Kirby Smart. That's my whole point.
I feel you. I got you. But it's cause concern for me.
I ain't worried about it. I'm more worried about Tommy Rees. I know you could say that, but he driving a different car, bro. He ain't never drove this car before.
All right. Speaking of Alabama, yesterday, men's basketball, they played early in the year. It was a 40-point blowout. Played yesterday, and it was a 10-point game. They lost. LSU lost. This was 10 straight. Their 10th loss, but LSU should have won. Well, I'm not. Let me correct that. LSU had a chance to win.
No, man, you better than me. I said they should have won that game. They gave that game away. I mean, when you have a team that's obviously killing you from the 3-point line the way you are, the failure to make adjustments as both player and coach, I just don't understand it. And then free throws, man, like it's time and time again, it's the same thing every time. I mean, it is what it is at this point, man. We just got to try to figure it out going forward.
All right. Sticking with basketball, Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is headed to Dallas.
I don't get this trade. You got two players who are at their best with the ball in their hands. I feel like not Boston. I feel like, I don't know why I said Boston. Dallas gave up a lot for somebody who's a free agent in the summertime. Spencer Dinwiddie going back to Brooklyn is interesting to me, though. I feel like he should have stayed there the whole time, and he would have been there the whole time if it wasn't for Kyrie coming in the first place, which is very interesting to me. But I feel like you could say that Dallas got better, and they did offensively. I feel like they took a step back a little defensively and losing Finney Smith. But I just think they gave up too much because I don't see Kyrie being there long term. I feel like his destination is LA, and basically Brooklyn just wasn't finna give him his wish.
Yeah, David Irvin says Dallas gave up way too much. It's gonna bite them when Kyrie doesn't re-sign.
Agreed. I know Brian said Luka will make it work. I mean, Kyrie can make it work too. We've seen Kyrie with James Harden, we've seen them play together. Obviously, it wasn't long term.
Fat James Harden too.
Yeah, we've seen them play together. And I feel like Luka is, I don't know. I haven't seen it. So I can't say that. I was about to say I think he's more willing to adapt, but I haven't seen it, so I can't say that. I don't know. I gotta see it. I'm not saying it can't work. I gotta see it. And it's the track record of putting two ball dominant players together doesn't end well. I'll say that.
Yeah. Fights, NBA. NBA has looked a lot like the UFC lately.
I don't know what's up with some of these players, man. Like Austin Rivers been talking a lot lately. And then he got into it with Mo Bamba and you know, then he started capping afterwards too. So I don't know what's going on. Like, not even just them, but like your boy Clarkson, he square up with somebody every other game, seemed like. And then you had Donovan Mitchell and
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks again.
I can't say
You know what I'm saying? Hey, Dylan, I've been trying to tell people, bro. Everybody thinks that people don't like Memphis because they're good. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Them boys talk too much and they
talk too much. But
it ain't that they talking. It's like Dylan Brooks is a dirty player, bro. It's not the first time he's done things like that, bro.
I literally looked when the play against Donovan Mitchell when he hit him in the in the
nether regions.
Yeah, I literally was like, bro, Draymond got better sense than that.
Oh yeah, some things you don't do, and he a dirty player, man, and people getting tired of that.
Yeah, man, Pro Bowl. You said we'll talk about it later. Let's talk about it now.
Let's talk about it. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It wasn't good by any means. It wasn't great by any means. It was better than I thought it was gonna be, though.
It should have been sponsored by Cheez-Its.
I mean, you could have sponsored it by a couple of things that probably would have.
It was the cheesiest, corniest bull. Man, that joint was so corny. I mean, granted. I do like this option a little bit better to keep people from being, because they were more into it.
They was actually competing. To me, that's what made it actually decent. You know what I mean? Like they actually cared.
Yeah,
it was fun to me. Like I said, I was going into it expecting the worst, so I was pleasantly satisfied. I mean, you know, it was you know, a pleasant surprise to me that it was pretty decent. But I will say, you know, it's obviously not better than, you know, seeing Sean Taylor lay out a punter. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Sean Taylor. But it's better than what we've seen the last few years, in my opinion, just because they actually tried and it was competitive.
Dylan literally saw it and said, "Oh, they play flag football too, like me."
Yeah, see, you can keep him in flag for a couple years long. Just be like, see, NFL players do it too.
Yeah, nah, he already know. He said, "I'm getting helmet this year and shoulder pads." Yeah, so yep. So I'm gonna give him some bubble wrap. He just don't know it. He gonna get that too. All right.
Oh,
You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you're a little bit more upbeat to me than mine this week, so I'm gonna go ahead and go first.
All
right. For my altar call, I'm calling myself. So early last week, we had a little tiff on Twitter with another, I guess you could say, media personality or personnel, just over, you know what I'm saying, and it wasn't that bad. It was, I felt like it was a miscommunication, but then I kind of carried a little far because I started, you know what I'm saying, chirping back and forth with some of the people who don't matter in life. But let's not, you know, it's not about this, not about them. I want to apologize to y'all. We are here to bring y'all good content, bring y'all laughs, entertainment, but also, you know what I'm saying, be real with y'all, be factual, you know what I'm saying, give y'all the best. And that wasn't my best, man. I stand by the fact that if we put out a story and, you know what I'm saying, and it's real and you know, and it's first, and somebody comes up and says, "Oh, breaking," you know what I'm saying, I just, you know, say, I would hope y'all would say, "Nah, we heard at the Golden Boot," you know, or you know what I'm saying, they had it. I appreciate that, you know what I'm saying, because some people did. And it's not even so much about getting credit, but it is, I mean, I'm sorry, it's not so much about being first, but it is about getting our credit. We work hard, just like everybody else. I think we deserve, when we do right, to be, you know what I'm saying, patted on the back. We do wrong, y'all let us know. So we do right. I think it's only fair y'all let, you know what I'm saying, y'all say, hey, you know what? They had this. They do right. It ain't even about being first. But what I will not tolerate is disrespect. My platform ain't got to be the biggest. Our platform don't have to be the biggest. But what it will be, it will be respected. Again, we work too damn hard to bring y'all this. And it's for y'all. We talk with y'all. We interact with y'all. If we see y'all, hell, we you know what I'm saying, the people we have seen, you know what I'm saying, we kick it with y'all. I'm just saying, hey, this is real. You know, I'm not finna be disrespected. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all for rocking with us. I'm not gonna stoop to the levels of some of these, for lack of a better word, idiots and clowns out here. And we're gonna continue to rock and do what we gotta do. So I appreciate y'all, and I hope y'all appreciate us.
All right. So can't believe I'm doing this, but can't believe I'm doing it. LeBron and Tom Brady, come on down, man. So too many times nowadays we try to find ways to disprove or diminish people's legacy and people's achievements and people's accomplishments. And we just had one retire, and the other one is about to break one of the records that nobody ever thought would be broken. So to Tom Brady and to LeBron James, I just want to salute y'all for y'all's longevity, y'all's, I'm not even going to say greatness, but y'all's ability to compete at a high level for a long time. I still do not like either one of y'all. As a matter of fact, I still hate both of y'all. But I will be, like Fox said, I don't have to like you to respect you. So I will tip my cap to you for y'all's careers. But LeBron, I hope you lose every game you play for the rest of the season. And glad that you're finally retired, because I can't stand either one of y'all. Sports will be better when both of y'all are retired, and that will be happening after next year, and we cannot wait.
What you mean next year? LeBron ain't going nowhere.
Oh, my bad. He gotta be on the end of the bench while his son play. You right. 2 years.
Hey, say what you want, but you address him. It's 4-time champ,
6-time finals loser is how I can.
But hold up. We've been told all you gotta do is make it there.
Who said that?
Now that okay. All I'm saying,
that?
listen.
Who said
address
that?
him.
You heard me say that?
It's the all-time leading
You
scorer.
heard me say that?
I don't know. You may have. I don't know.
I'll address him as the most turnovers in NBA history.
You can address him as Mr.
Most
Points.
turnovers. The turnover leader is how I will address him.
And you say what you want.
What did he do last night?
I don't even know. I honestly don't know. I didn't even know the game was on.
Damn. The boy Pez had a 10-game losing streak. You know what didn't happen? They didn't get 11-game losing streak because they gave them boys that L.
No, whatever. Y'all just be hating.
I ain't got nothing to hate on him, sir.
Yes, you do.
I just gave that man his respect. That don't mean I'm finna lie.
Backhand.
I'm telling nothing but facts.
That's a backhand compliment.
It's facts.
It's factually a backhanded compliment. Hey, we still want to do this. I put this out here. A couple things before we close up shop. Programming change again. As you notice, we started at 8 tonight. We will be back again on Wednesday at 8 o'clock with the Golden Boot. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock with HBCU Hour, and on Thursday at 8 o'clock. Also, hey, help us hit 1K and you can possibly win $100. Go on to youtube.com/The Golden Boot and subscribe. Refer some friends over to subscribe. Let us know. Hey, I referred a few people over. You know what I'm saying? And if we see their name on there, you know what I'm saying, that they subscribe, will enter you and that person to win $100. This is real, people. We are serious. We trying to get this 1K.
Money.
We trying to get it. So, hey, help your boys out. Also, want to say thank you to Fox for coming through as always, blessing us.
God.
That man be fight. Listen, y'all just don't understand the demons that man be fighting with teenagers, internet, and yeah, that man. We appreciate him.
Probably got about 23 teenage girls at his house right now. His daughter always be having friends. I feel bad for that young man.
Yeah,
Everybody say he the only man in the house. He need to get him a dog or something.
They might be a female dog, but anyway.
Exactly.
Hey, want to say thank y'all to everybody who came through in the chat. Dave, Ryan, Silver Charm, Chuck, Josh, Nick Thomas.
I got Julian was in here tonight.
Julian,
appreciate all y'all for watching, man.
Kyle Jones, and I saw this. He said the disappointment with him. The disappointment when he sees the bubble wrap.
That's
he
facts.
definitely gonna be disappointed.
Yeah,
that helmet, I'm gonna wrap that helmet up.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
before we go, I do want to say I will give LeBron James credit. He is about to break a record that we never thought would be broken. You know, he's about to become the NBA leader for all-time missed shots. You know what I mean? We must give a man credit.
Here we
for
go.
That. We must give a man credit for that.
Hey, you say you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So
I know he's about to pass.
Kudos to that.
He's about to pass Kobe for this. So you know what I mean. That's saying something because Kobe definitely didn't care about any shot. Every shot was a good shot to Kobe.
Yeah. So trying to see who else if we missed somebody. I think I said Josh. I know Josh was in here. He's you know what I'm saying. Sam Wilson, DK. That's who I was looking for. I know DK spoke. You know what I'm saying. What's up, DK? But again, Chris, that's who I was looking for. My boy, he came up earlier. This old vet, always appreciate you for coming through. Man, it just you know what I'm saying, it means a lot, this old vet, because I know you weren't necessarily watching in the beginning, but you saw us on other stuff and you came through, and we appreciate you. Always coming in with a good comment, you know what I'm saying, honest comment. Gary, notice I say good comment, Chris. Good comments. Tyler, Jason,
wrong, bro.
Mr. Perp came through here, and Big Pressure. So I just want to make sure I holler at my people because
appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I hit up everybody who came through and spoke and stuff. Because it does mean a lot to us when y'all come through and speak and stuff and with your comments, and we do appreciate it. But I think that's it, man. I ain't got nothing else. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow with the HBCU Hour. Bethune-Cookman got a head coach here, ladies and gentlemen. What?
That's Nick.
Yeah,
I'm not paying no attention to Nick.
Oh. Yeah,
I'm not paying no attention. Nick think he about to get Kevin Durant, so I mean, I'm not paying no attention.
Kevin Durant ain't getting a haircut, well, or a new hairbrush.
Man, Nick Thomas is a Padres fan. He trying to call somebody miserable.
What? Wah. We do got that sound too, but like I said, Bethune-Cookman got a new head coach. Alabama A&M facilities. They new facilities. Yeah. I've been talking about this.
You seen Black College Experience put that.
Yeah, Miss Keisha put up them that video. Yes, it's going down tomorrow night. So man, I'm all over the place with these trying to find what I'm finna play. All right, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. We got.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on Twitter at Golden Boot. On Instagram at Golden Boot. On YouTube at The Golden Boot Pod. On Facebook at The Golden Boot Pod.